All right, so now we have to import 2020 in. We have to import the standard assets into 2020, and there's some bugs inside of it, so we need to do some fixing real quick. So if we say go to Window, we go to Asset Store, we type in search standard assets, and then scroll down a little bit. It's this one right here. It looks like a bunch of a model set. Mine says import. Yours will say download, and then it'll say import. So after you get it downloaded, it'll ask if you want to import it. I have it downloaded already because it's on my computer. And then you want to hide all the sample scene, just minimize that. You want standard assets, but you don't want 2D, you don't want camera, you don't want this. I'm minimizing them so I can just turn them all off at the same time. We don't want effects. And everybody in the world shows up today. We don't want that. We don't want that. Particle systems. We do want this, but we don't want this. This. Okay. So we're gonna say no, 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 and then import. So basically, the only thing that's selected is particle systems import. And it's super fast once that, because the assets are pretty small. So I'll close this tab. And then we'll look down here, and you'll see this big red error message for the scripts. There's some scripts that were written in the original version that don't work here, so we're going to just simply delete them. And then you're going to see some errors in other places, and we'll take care of that too. They don't really matter. They should still work. But if we go to a prefab and I throw the fire complex into the scene, and then I open it up, the only way you can actually visualize the fire, for example, this particle system, is by actually selecting it. So I'll open it up, and let me get rid of the glow first here. Open this up and press and play. You'll see that, though, that this particle system... Oh, I thought it had errors. Wait, it may be in here. Yeah, so this script right here has errors in it. It's not a big deal that it's in here for our needs, but if you want to make if it itches your brain like me, you can remove it. So just remove it that way. Now you have your flames working inside of here. And there you go. Let's talk about how I would want to change the colors of them while we're in here real quick. And I'm going to close this tab. If I wanted to make these a different color, like fairy color or magical color or space color or whatever, there's a couple ways I could do it. First off, let's look at how it's making the flames. If you click on any of this and you push Control, you'll get to see the actual animation, or the frames from the animation. Control and any of these, including your textures, by the way. It'll show you the animation, or the flames. So all we have to do is either add a change of color to it, or let's see how we could do that. So we could actually come in here and see if we can add, let's say, purple or blue to it. And you'll see it changes, but you'll see it's green. So the green isn't exactly the blue that we see up there. So if I go to purple, it's kind of orange purple, or if I go to yellow, it's not going to be much different than the flames were before. Okay, that's because the texture has color in it. So what would I do if I wanted to use this texture but I didn't want it to look like that? I would take it into Photoshop, which I've done in a different version. Let me close this one. And inside of the Photoshop, I would desaturate it. Let's see if it opens in Photoshop. There. So I just took it in and desaturated it. I didn't make it brighter or darker because the grays are the values that are going to grab color. If it's white, it won't grab color. If it's black, it won't grab color. So you leave it at this gray value. And now, when I put it inside of a flame, here, let me turn this one on. Same flame, just a different day. I think, yeah. So I'll come back to the flames here, and you can see it's right there. And I can just take this flame texture, just like I do with a normal material, and put it inside of this. Boom. And now it's a white flame. And now I can change the color of it to blue, and it will be blue. I can also go back and do what we were talking about in the previous video and use the gradient a little bit, or I can use gradient color over lifetime gradient. So right here's this gradient. I can just pick one of these ones that I have right there, and you'll see it changes color as it gets older. It's not the same kind of particle system as the other ones, but it basically is a picture that fades out and stuff like that. So in this case, you know, you may want to make it more drastic. So you take this, you don't want it to be transparent, you go alpha all the way. Take this and make it red. And then you'll see at the bottom it's the green. It's a really flat green here. There you go. There's purple because there's red at the top. Make it super red here. There. Red at the top, purple in the middle. And if we wanted to, we could add another keyframe right there, or another spot to add a texture color and put a blue or something in there. So we keep that blue a little bit longer. That's how you would change the color of it. Now don't forget that when you change the color of it, it also has a light that's attached to it. So you probably want to change the color of the light too, so it matches that there. Okay, you can actually animate and stuff inside of this, but we aren't going to do that. And we're also going to make sure when you see these missing scripts, they aren't going to hurt anything, but you might as well get used to cleaning it up. So we'll just remove component. And I doubt this one works either. Nope, this one's fine apparently. So now when I click on that flame again, now the problem is that I may still have this orange for this. Now it doesn't show so strong, but you know, if you really want to make it work, you need to probably think about at least changing the color of this particle animation texture right here. That, or you can try and just do it this way. You go, you know, the blue purple right here all the way up to strength, and see if you can get something that's a little bit more saturated in color. Let me get back to this and stop it and come back to this. There, and it's not too bad actually. It's a pretty good, you know, for being underneath this, it probably works okay. So that's how you change the color of it. That's how you fix the problems if you import it in and you get those errors. You just have to get rid of the scripts folder because the scripts were written in 2018 or 2019. Actually, maybe 2017.